This is part 1 where I'll talk about what we call entry-level windsurfing. Entry-level is simply a term often used to describe anything to do with getting started in a sport. Windsurfing is what I call an entry-level friendly sport. There is lots of information available, and there is windsurfing equipment available to fit anyone, any size, and age. So let's look now at where you can find out more about the windsurfing scene.
When I started in 1984, the main information source for windsurfing information was from a couple of monthly magazines. Some of those magazines, like Windsurfing Magazine, are still available today and are still a great source of information. You can visit Windsurfing Magazine's website at www.windsurfingmag.com. Another information source that's been around since the beginning and is still active is the Usenet News discussion group Rec.Windsurfing. It is still a popular discussion group and is now easily accessed with an internet browser using Google Groups. This is a good place to ask questions to find out what's going on in a particular area. Visit Rec.Windsurfing at groups.google.com. If you want to look for books on windsurfing, go to www.amazon.com and search using the keyword windsurfing. But be a little careful, as I've noticed books that were published in the 1980s are often listed and you'll want to avoid those. If you want to look for windsurfing videos and DVDs, then check out www.totalvid.com. Most DVDs run around $29. However, TotalVid has an option on many DVDs to download a Windows Media file version for just $3.99. The video file has a license attached that allows it to be played for the next 7 days. Still, this is a good deal, and you can use your camcorder to tape your computer screen while it plays, making your own illegal copy. There are many books and videos about learning to windsurf. One of the best books on learning to windsurf that is readily available is Start Windsurfing Right from U.S. Sailing. If you take a lesson and your instructor is a U.S. Sailing certified instructor, then he or she will teach the same windsurfing positions during your first lesson as what you learned beforehand by reading this book. You can purchase this book at many windsurfing shops or in the web store Education Start section at www.ussailing.com. U.S. Sailing is the national organization for sailing in the United States. Windsurfing has been an Olympic sport and thus has been given some headlines by this organization. However, in general and for reasons unknown to me, windsurfing has not integrated well with general sailing clubs and their national organization. The United States Windsurfing Association is our U.S. national windsurfing organization. Visit the website at www.uswindsurfing.org to find out more about the USWA. If you are interested in competing in windsurfing races, you really should join the USWA. When you join, you can request a sail number that you can letter your sails with. Then if you enter any windsurfing events, your sail number will be unique. There is a right way to number a sail. The starboard side or starboard tack is when you're windsurfing with the right hand forward. A starboard tack heads right away over a port tack. During the start of a race, everyone starts on a starboard tack and usually finishes on starboard also. Though you can number both sides of a sail, if you number just one side, then number the starboard side so the committee boat officials can easily read your number. If you number both sides, place the starboard letters higher than the port side letters. An important source of information that has been disappearing is the local windsurfing shop. There was a time when there was over 300 windsurfing shops around the country. Then in the late 80s, mail order catalog warehouses were started, and then came the internet online shopping craze in the late 90s. Though online stores are good for the experienced windsurfing consumer, it's not the ticket for attracting new people into the sport. If you have a local windsurfing shop, consider yourself lucky and please use it. If the owner is set up to do lessons, then consider yourself very lucky. The single most radical change in windsurfing to date has been the introduction of wide style boards in the late 90s. You can see here that there is a huge difference in the shape of these two boards. Both of these boards are course racing boards, but the wide style on the left is far more stable and is a great first board. A generic name for these boards is the hybrid board, because they are considered a cross between the old style longboard and a Formula racing board. If you are interested in the competitive side of the sport, you can easily learn on one of these hybrid boards and then race it in competitions. Width gives the board stability, and beginners and novice windsurfers now spend their time learning to windsurf instead of falling into the water. The High Fly Motion has been my lesson board of choice for several years. You can see the yardstick on the deck noting this board is near 36 inches wide. It is very stable and very durable because of its hard plastic skin. It is a working center board and a large fin that will make sailing upwind easy work. When you take that first lesson, chances are you will be on an entry-level board like the High Fly Motion. These boards are great to learn on, but because they are big, they can weigh in at almost 50 pounds. A big heavy board does not easily go fast and is hard to carry on land and lift up onto a car roof rack. This is why it's smart to take a lesson. You only need an extra wide stable board for the first few hours. So take a lesson, then buy something a little lighter and smaller, like the Big 293. An old longboard kit listed on eBay for just $100 may seem like the deal of a lifetime. However, think twice, then 10 times again before buying 1980s era equipment. First, as we've mentioned, longboards are not easy to learn on. Second, some of them are incredibly heavy and hard to carry. Third, it's hard to impossible to find parts for older equipment. And last, this very old equipment is prone to breaking down, and thus it is not dependable. If you look for them, you will find many books, videos, and DVDs about learning to windsurf. The really good news is there are plenty of wide style boards available today that will help you get started fast. On a few occasions, I've had people do their entire first 3-hour-long lesson and not fall in the water once. They were able to learn more in that lesson than I did in 3 months back in 1984 on a very tippy longboard.